Hey guys, welcome to another vlog. So, the title of this video is, it's kind of confusing. It's like called "The Smartest Person You'll Ever Meet." Actually, you know what? I'm gonna start this off with a joke. So, well, it's maybe not even a joke. It's actually a real experience. Yeah, I was in the bathroom the other day, and I was doing a number on the toilet. But you know the worst thing that can happen when you're in the freaking bathroom is when you're freaking a leak and then you sneeze and shit goes like everywhere. I'm like, oh my god. Good thing I was sitting down, otherwise it would have been like a terrible fucking mess that I'd have to scrub the toilet again and everything. But I'm sure this happens for guys and girls where the rare time you actually sneeze while you're doing a number is really, really horrible. Your diaphragm like flexes and then nothing moves and then you have to blow the sneeze, and then when you blow the sneeze all the other that was flowing just, oh god, this has turned into something extremely disgusting already. Anyways, you get the idea. Hi, I'm Kevin. So today's vlog is about the smartest person you'll ever meet. Question mark. So to me, I don't actually believe I'll ever know who the smartest person I'll ever meet, so I'll just establish that there right now, just so you guys know. I don't think I'll ever actually meet the smartest person I'll ever meet in my lifetime. Mainly because, I'll meet them, but I won't know who they are, basically. Like, I won't know that they are the actually smartest person I'll ever meet. Because this was very weird. It's not so much like I was looking at this in the negative, it's just that I've been said, like, that's been said to me the three times in my lifetime before, and each time it just got worse. The person was like, "I'm the smartest person you'll ever meet, Kevin," and I was just thinking to myself, man, that's so depressing. That means everything else I come across is gonna be much more stupid. And I know I'm not, I know I'm not dominant. I'm not exactly like extremely smart either, but I'm just average. But still, I was like, shit, if you're the smartest person I've ever met, everybody else is a moron that I come across. Why even bother? That's depressing. So I was like, oh my god, this fool, this tool. So the smartest person you'll ever meet. It's also like kind of like, what do I consider the smartest person I'll ever meet? It's because there's no real way to actually determine who is the smartest. There's two kinds of smarts that I know that exist anyways. There's the one that, you know, you understand, like book smarts, street smarts, or whatever, and those other things, right? But so that's kind of more like science or whatever, or the study smarts or whatever. You have study smarts, you've got like emotional smarts, you've got social smarts. Like a person who has all three of those things, or like all of them, is to me is a very, very, very intelligent person. They consider everything, like they try to make someone else's life easier without them even like knowing, kind of thing, which is actually what I kind of do. But but it's just like if the smartest person I ever met or like was in my vicinity and we were friends or whatever, it's kind of like they would be so smart that they could string me along and challenge me on so many things, and also enlighten me on so many concepts at the same time, and at the same time mock me and make fun of me somehow, yet still retain a friendship that where we don't hate each other in some sense. That to me would be like some form of brilliance, that this person can pull off so many things with a person they're trying to be friends with. I just feel like this is insane. Because, you know, there are people who are like the very, very aggressive brunt types, and then there's also that who think they're better than everyone else kind of thing. There's the self-deprecating types, which is kind of like me. And then there's, because like I once asked a counselor teacher, saying like, how do I tell people like I never know how to express the statement of I'm smart to somebody, right? And she was like, Kevin, you don't need to express that. You just be yourself and just be. That's something you don't really ever have to say. It's just either people will know it or they don't. And with that in hand, it's kind of like the same thing saying that I'll never know who the smartest person I'll ever meet in my life, which is actually nice, because I actually don't want to know. Because, as I said earlier, if this is the highest point of intelligence I'll ever meet, everything goes down from there, and it's just going to be depressing. I'll be like, oh my god, there's no point. So, and it's almost like, it's the same with food too, right? Say you experience like the best kind of chicken somewhere in some particular village or city somewhere off that this person's been making for 30 years and has perfected the perfect tender grade juiciness and the kind of chickens that you use, free range, you know, fully like fed with seed, grain, whatever. It's like the ultimate chicken. And then you taste everything else after, it's just like, well, that's not as good. Like, it's just shit. But all these things are subjective, right? So you can't really say there's the smartest person you'll ever meet. It's also like, you can probably meet somebody who's extremely rational, but then they're also very lacking in emotions. So that's like a question that my best friend posed to me the other day. We were talking about philosophical human ethics. It was such a dangerous path that if you're not comfortable with the person you're talking with, it could become really, really volatile and hostile. So the situation was like, so you have a train, it's coming, you're behind this switch. You can either push the switch or not push it. Those are your only options. You can't run away or whatever, disappear. You're locked in this confined box, whatever, no other conditions. So there's this track, you push the button and it'll make the train go into track B instead of track A. But track A has a person, so obviously the first time you would push it till it switch from A to B and you save the person. That's pretty simple. Second time it's like, you know, there's 5 people on track A now and 1 on track B. Are you going to save the 5 or sacrifice the 1? It's just like, well, obviously most are like kind of iffy, and then they start throwing like random variables and whatever. But like, you know, if you're just straight rational, you just be like, of course I'd save 5. It's the lesser of 2 evils. It's like, just like whatever. It's not, this isn't a moral judgment. It's just like where are your ethics and human intentions are in terms of your nature. Not so much, it's not to determine like, are you fucked up or not. It's just, you know, it's just figuring out your ethics, because it's all hypothetical. It's not like real. If it was real, I'm pretty sure like in the heat of the moment, I wouldn't even know what to do. I might freeze. Various other things could happen. Like those are all not considered in this, because this is like no pressure and it's just a thought. And then so like, you know, most people would choose, yeah, I'll save 5 people instead of the 1. And then the final question, obviously, some of you probably know where this is leading already. What if that 1 was the love of your life, right? And that's kind of like the same concept of what I proposed earlier with, like, you know, this is the highest peak of something, or like the smartest person you'll ever meet. So this is the love of your life. Anybody else past that, like literally the love of your life, is a one-shot thing and it'll never be anything better. So what makes you human is basically, obviously, the emotional part of yourself would kick in at this point, because you are, well, I wouldn't say everybody, but, you know, those who are emotional, you would choose probably your love of your life and sacrifice the other 5, but then, you know, at the same time, you also want to save the 5 people because over 1 person, which is the rational decision. But, you know, that's where human intent comes in. I couldn't really answer that question for my friend if I would flip the switch to track A and kill 5 people and save the love of my life, or the other way around where I save 5 people and kill the love of my life. So, you know, I was like 50-50 on it in the time, but no, like, you know, no pressure environment. But even then, there was like so much stress in the thought that like, it's just like, in the end, I told my friend, like, you know, I'm kind of like 60% leaning towards love of my life and 40% towards the 5 people. But in the heat of the moment, that could easily rise to like 85% love of my life and 15% for the 5 people that save which one. Like 85% chance that I'll probably save the love of my life. But, you know, that's just some hypotheticals and things that, you know, some people like to think about. You shouldn't really stress yourself over these things, guys. Like, the fact that I've already provided you this scenario, you shouldn't go apeshit over it in the comments. Trust me, I'm like, this is just for perspective, guys. Don't go nuts. So, you know, what for me, and back onto the whole thing about the smartest person I'll ever meet. It's you know, it's a combination of all these things. They'll have rationale, emotional, and, you know, all those other things. I say that's probably be like the wife or something. Like one of my relatives in Asia or whatever, they're actually really odd. They actually lack a lot of social intelligence, but then they are actually brilliant in terms of like mathematics and all those other like scholarly studies and things. So he's actually very, very brilliant at a very young age too. He was just born like that. He sees numbers differently than how I see them, but then at the same time, his weaknesses are that he actually has a lot of trouble, like in terms of like social settings, you know, the proper things to say kind of thing. And then it's almost a bit like with autism. I know that the things I know about autism is that autistic people, they actually cannot infer sarcasm, or they can't infer like irony or sarcastic or whatever. So that's why sometimes when I don't know if any of you have ever dealt with one. I've heard of experiences, and then I came across one, and then it's like, you say hello to them, they get like freaked out, and it's uncommon for somebody to react like that, right? Just in general, because he thought I was like a threat, even though I was being friendly, but he can't actually infer like emotion between some of that. And that's kind of like one part of an autistic disease. So for those of you who don't know, I guess you just learned something. I always try to teach you guys something on here in these vlogs. So and that's what I mean, like you always got to keep an open mind. A person who's actually, in my personal opinion, it could be subjective to all of you. Like in my personal opinion, the smartest person that you'll ever come across is probably somebody who is actually very intelligent, ambitious, always challenging like ideas and things, and also making sound reasons, and also being emotional, and also knowing how to like understand other people in their sense, like putting themselves empathy, putting others in each other's shoes. That to me is a very, very brilliant person. It's something I strive to be too, but then there are the bad sides that each of us have. None of us are perfect. Sometimes I'll probably say something really stupid. I've probably said many things stupid in a game forum already, though that is only mutually exclusive to game forums. I don't let it bleed into real life or other things. So yeah, guys. So at the end of it all, I challenge you to always, check that ceiling to see if that person is actually saying what they are, and if there's somebody better, then obviously they aren't the best at that. And then the fact that you're going out to go challenge that already makes you part of this process where you're getting smarter. So that's my advice given off to you. It's just to always challenge, is this real or is this not? Whereas you can even challenge this right now if anything I'm saying here is real. I'm pretty sure it's real because that's just something consistently that some people do. They challenge ideas, they also stand for their own, and then they also have to make logical sense of it. And then also with like the more difficult situations that I spoke about earlier, like the train scenario thing, that's more of an emotional decision. And also like, do you have like a good heart or whatever, or are you just like plain robotic and emotional? Because a complete rationale person would be like, I'll save 5 people and kill the love of my life, who cares? Zero emotion. That is not human. Okay, so alright guys, that's this vlog. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all next time in another one. So bye bye for now. Recently I've been playing a lot of HOTS in the past week, just because so I can actually finally figure out what the difference is between Dota 2, League, and Heroes of the Storm. And then there's also Smite, and I'm just like, but I consider Smite somewhat different just because of the camera angle and the presentation. So I'm editing this video here, and like this is like the song I'm listening to while I'm watching it. No, this is a replay, guys. So it's just like a bunch of clips of I'm a Diablo player, so I thought it's cool that you get to play a villain in this game. And yeah, I'll be making a big video of like all 3 of these of the 3 MOBAs that I've played so far. So Jesus, oh my god, Diablo's such a troll. You have a 5-second bullshit respawn timer.
My temple's magic subsides. Find something else to fight over. Hero slain.
This Slain.